Okay, an interesting little move here by the Carolina Panthers, who were reportedly in on the Milton Williams deal before that fell through, so they had to, look somewhere else. They desperately need to help out their defense in general, which was just, quite frankly, a mess last year. And part of that was Derek Brown getting injured. Okay, I get it. But they wanted to help out their defense. They made sure they re-signed J.C. Horn, who was kind of the one guy in the secondary to come out looking all right last year and has had great years in previous years. And Tre'von Moehrig is a player for the Raiders who has been okay over his career. Like, he hasn't been a star at any point in his career with the Raiders, but was an effective player. I mean, he was someone who was sort of, I believe it was a second round pick if I remember correctly, and he had been an, effective piece. He's still just 25. They did give him a little bit more money than I think the average person would have wanted, or the average Panthers fan maybe would have liked for a move like this. And I'm trying to be not too harsh on a lot of these contracts because it's free agency. The cap is skyrocketing up every year, so all these contracts just feel high because that's not usually what you expect. That being said, it is a 3-year deal worth $51 million total and potential to have it be $60 million. So it could end up being $20 million a year for Tre'von Moehrig, although that would mean that he hits all his incentives and you'd be happy if he does that probably. So you can't say it's that, but still $17 million a year for Tre'von Moehrig feels a bit high. I will say, I was looking at the PFF, they do like a prediction, and they predicted it around this much. I think they had an extra year of $18 million with a little less guaranteed per year, but I mean, it's not that out of what people were expecting, even if it feels a little bit high for the player who is, again, an effective safety, not a star safety. But for the Carolina Panthers, again, in a perfect world, you could get a star safety for this money. That isn't on the table. That's not an option. I was looking at their depth chart, and not only is Tre'von Moehrig the best safety on their depth chart, according to PFF, he is the only safety on their depth chart. They don't have a single player listed at the safety position other than him at this point. They just signed him. So talk about a position of need. They literally needed one. They legitimately needed a safety. So adding him, it makes sense. So again, in a perfect world, could you have gotten this for a little bit of a cheaper deal? I think so. In a perfect world, could you have maybe gone after a different safety on the market? Like, I would say I would have rather seen them perhaps go after either a veteran or maybe go after a better player like Jevon Holland, who, in my opinion, is a much better player. Would have costed some more as well, but maybe not a massive jump more. But again, these things don't exist in a vacuum, right? And perhaps they did ask Jevon Holland, and he said, no, I want to go somewhere else. And then, okay, what are you going to do, right? You have to, at a certain point, it's a two-way street. You got to get someone to say yes as well. So ultimately, my gut reaction is it feels a bit overpriced, but it's probably better to spend a little bit too much where Carolina's at than to not be getting good players. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.